up, you guys? It's your girl, Mika Chanel, back with another edition of Mika Chanel is Just Saying. Tonight we're talking about the Real Housewives of New York City, Season 8, Episode number 4. I'm sorry I'm messing with my hair. I can't get my puff right. I straightened my hair last weekend, and I just can't get it to curl, the curls to snap back the way I want them to. Anyways, before I get started, like I always say, please subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed, okay? Thank you. Anyway, so episode 4 opens up. Everybody's in the Hamptons because Bethany is having her, birthday, barbecue, tailgate party, whatever you want to call it. And so she has the place set up really, really cute. She's got Moscow mules on deck and spiked hot chocolate in the front yard. And then, of course, she has that bar that I fell in love with when we saw it on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. When they all visited her in the Hamptons or whatever, I thought that was really cool. I fell in love with that bar. She's got everything decorated so pretty. She's got fire pits everywhere. I love fire pits. I love to make s'mores. I love all that kind of stuff, you guys. So that party was right up my alley, and it gave me some ideas for the summertime. A summertime party. I can't wait. I mean, it's like the end of April, and it's still like in the 40s here in Chicagoland. And I'm over it. Seriously. I'm over it. I'm like, so look, I got on a sweater. I had on boots and sweaters today because, it's cold. It's like really cold. Anyways, let me get off of that. So it starts off, like I said, with her. She's decorating. But then over at Jules and Michael's house, Dorinda is talking with John. And, she's telling him, like, I really want you to apologize to Bethany. You embarrassed the shit out of me, and I really didn't appreciate that. You were not welcome at my party. You should not have been there. I was already having my issue with her, and then you walk in and take things way too far. It's basically what she's telling him. And he's just like, okay, for you, I will apologize. But it doesn't really seem like, it's something that he really wants to do. But he's going to do it, to make Dorinda happy. He seems to really love Dorinda. But he's just, I don't know. He's just who he is. Some people are just assholes. and he's one of them, I think, Anyways, so like I said, move over to Bethany's house. Carol shows up. I guess Carol was staying with Bethany for the weekend or whatever at her house. And they kind of, just talk about how they think things are going to go. She's like, Luann is coming. And, Carol and Luann do not get along right now because of the whole Adam situation. Carol's boyfriend, Adam, and, he was dating Luann's niece. And, they had this whole tip towards the end of last season about the whole thing with Carol dating him. And then Carol's still dating him. So, whatever. Anyways, and then all the other people start to show up. Ramona shows up. She only comes for a little while because Ramona's like, look, I am single and it is Saturday, which is date night, and I have to get back to the city because I have things to do, okay? I don't have time to be sitting out here in the country with y'all. Y'all got y'all men, or y'all don't want men. Either way, I'm going to have me some fun mingling as a single person, okay? So she, she stays, a little bit, and then she heads out. She's like, peace, y'all, deuces. I'll see y'all on the flip side, okay? Dorinda, Jules, and both of their men, Michael and John, they show up. Bethany is clearly avoiding John. She's avoiding John like the whole night. You guys, I don't know if I'm really going to go in order because the whole thing, it was like cut up in like 2 segments. Most of the episode was Bethany's party, and it wasn't like a whole lot going on. And then the last part of the episode was at Jules' house, so I'm not really I don't know if I'm going in order. I'm just I have notes and things like that, but I'm just gonna go with what I felt about the episode pretty much for this time. Anyways, yeah, but they come and basically, like I said, Bethany is trying to avoid John as best as she can. And I honestly, like I said in my last episode, last vlog, I feel like she should have left John in New York City. She should not have brought him with her. She definitely should not have brought him to to Bethany's party. Dorinda, I just don't think that was a good move at all. And John was on his best behavior. He didn't get to talking crazy to anybody, but at the same time, it just really made things awkward. And then Bethany was making it even more awkward for everybody because she was avoiding John. She didn't want to talk to him. He tried to talk to her a couple of times and it just didn't work. She was just like acting like she didn't even hear the man talking to her at all. Like, are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? I don't even know. Do you hear somebody talking? It's like a bird chirping. I don't hear it. Like they were sitting around the fire pit and John comes over, and as soon as he starts trying to talk to her, Bethany gets up and walks away. And then she's telling everybody that she's feeling uncomfortable in her own home. And I'm just like, well, you should have just told Dorinda not to bring John, or just go ahead and have the conversation with the man so that, the awkwardness can simmer down a little bit or whatever, which she finally does because, people are telling her like, Dorinda is really feeling uncomfortable. She's really feeling a little sad about the whole situation. And Bethany's like, she likes Dorinda, and for Dorinda's sake, she's going to go ahead and talk to John. So they have a conversation. It doesn't seem like the conversation goes well because Bethany is just like, John is apologizing, and Bethany is just like, you don't even know what you're apologizing for. You don't even remember anything from that night, do you, or whatever. And then he says, I do. And she's like, well, what? What did I say to Dorinda that was so bad? And he couldn't recall what she had said. And so, then Bethany was just like, I told you, you just don't even know what you're apologizing for or whatever. So they kind of, I don't know, not really argue, but it wasn't really a good conversation either. And it was just like, come on, Bethany, just let the man apologize so that you can move on with the night. You don't have to be around this man anymore. The next time you have a party, just let Dorinda know that he can't come. And I'm sure Dorinda will respect your wishes because she understands the situation, And if she doesn't, then she's just not a good friend. And just talking up to that. And then Luann gets there. Luann gets there before this whole conversation with Bethany and John. But when Luann shows up, Luann brings a hula hoop for some reason. I guess she thought it was funny. I don't know. And so she comes over. Everybody's sitting down eating. She goes over and she's talking to, speaking to everybody. She speaks to Carol. Carol is just not really feeling it. She doesn't really want Luann there. Luann seems a little nervous to me. And so then I think that's why she went ahead and did a little, so a few twirls with the hula hoop or whatever. She did good with the hula hoop, she kept it up there for a few seconds or whatever. But I think it was just that she was nervous, and then it was kind of like people, they didn't really give her a good warm reception when she walked up. So she goes over to the misfits table, I guess, is where Dorinda and Ramona and John and Jules and her husband is or whatever. So she goes over there and she feels like, that she walked away from like the mean girl table and they didn't want to make room for her to sit down. But then later on in the evening, they were all around the fire pit, making s'mores, and the Luann and Carol finally talk. Carol, for someone that says that she's over it and she doesn't really care, she's holding a lot of anger towards Luann. I mean, Luann did say some things that were out of line. And Luann wanted to talk about it. She wasn't necessarily trying to apologize, which I don't really think Luann is an apologizer. But, she just wanted, her and Carol to just move past it or whatever. But Carol's not ready to move past it. Her feelings are hurt. She's still angry, even though she won't admit that she's still angry. But she's clearly still resenting Luann for whatever, for all the stuff that Luann said. So they kind of have a heated conversation, and then they just agree that they're just going to be cordial when they see each other, and they're not going to be friends anymore, which is kind of sad because I thought that they were getting really close, at one point. But like when Carol first came onto the show, I wasn't sure if her and Luann were going to get along, and then it seemed like they were getting along, and now they're not. And Carol seems like the type that would hold a grudge forever. So that's kind of, let me see, what else went down at this barbecue? Not too much went down, like, oh, and then Bethany finally, goes over to John and is like, at the end of the night, she goes over to him and she's like, you know what, for Dorinda's sake, we're gonna be cool. I'm gonna wipe the slate clean. I'm not gonna hold a grudge. We're just gonna move on because I really like Dorinda and I don't want her to feel uncomfortable. Which, John appreciated, everybody appreciated it, and then that's when they were like, okay, well, this is a good time to leave or whatever. So they leave, and the party, I guess, is over. I don't know. I'm sure some more people were still there, but none of the cast members besides Carol, I think, was still there. Yeah, let me see if I missed anything. Let me look at my notes. Did I miss anything? No, I don't think I didn't miss anything from the party. That was pretty much the party. I mean, it seemed like it would have been a good time if it wasn't so awkward, if everybody wasn't acting so weird, if Luann and Carol didn't have their issue, if Bethany and John didn't have their issue. It seemed like it would have been a really fun, little hoedown. She had hired a mobile barbecue man. He came with the big grills, and I'm like, that's what I'm talking about, the big smokers. Like, yes, that's how you know it's serious. That's how you know somebody's serious about their barbecue, and they come with one of them big old things that look like it might fall apart at any moment, but it's gonna smoke so good. That's some serious barbecue. All right. And then she had the fire pits going, and at the beginning of the episode she was just saying how happy she was to have her home. She never thought she would have had, any of that, and she's very happy, and she just wants to spread the love and share with everybody. But at the same time, too, she was a little tipsy. She admitted that she was tipsy, so that could have probably played a part in why she was extra dramatic, too. But it is what it is. So anyway, so the next day, it's time for Jules's brunch. And, of course, Dorinda and John are there because they are staying with Jules and Michael, and I guess she's calling it a schmear. I guess that's a Jewish thing. I guess when you have like the cream cheese and the bagel, or schmear and bagel or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, so basically it's like a brunch. So Bethany and Carol are driving up. They're already talking shit about the location of the house. They never been that far out in the Hamptons, and how the size of the house and things like that. I mean, they were already on edge, and not on edge, but they were already on 10 when they got there. So they walk in, and Bethany immediately sees all the construction and all of that, and for some reason she decides to tell Michael and Jules that they're basically some dumbasses for buying the house. She said that it's going to be a money pit. They're going to lose so much money. They're not going to be able to resell it. And I'm like, well, why do you think they're trying to sell it? I mean, they're putting all of this into it. I'm sure they want this in their family for a very long time, and you can clearly tell that Michael and Jules are not happy with her comments. Everybody could tell that except for Bethany. I don't know if she just doesn't care, or if she's just oblivious to the things that she says and the way that she says them to people. It's one thing to be like very straightforward and direct and honest with people, and it's another thing to just be downright bitchy and rude to people, especially in their own homes. Like if someone asks you a question, go ahead and answer it honestly, but in a nice way, But if nobody even asks you a question, you don't have to give your opinion all the time, Bethany. And she has a habit of doing that. And she, like in her opening thing, it says, if you don't want the truth, then you don't want me, or something like that, she said. And I'm just like, you don't have to be rude. I mean, she was just downright mean, what she was saying, And then she starts whispering to Carol about how Jules isn't eating or whatever, which I do remember seeing Jules eating some fruits. So I think maybe she just doesn't eat bread. A lot of people, don't eat bread. I try my hardest not to eat bread, but it's so hard because it's so good. But, and then Bethany's like, am I the only one that notices, that she's got all this food out here and she's not eating? And I don't know how, she was like, Carol said, I don't know how people can live like that. And Bethany's like, yeah, there's just so many rules. And I'm like, are you serious, Miss Skinny? What was her book called? Naturally Thin? I read the book, and it was a lot of rules in that book as far as, how you should eat and not eat, taste everything and eat nothing, and all the rules about how to eat what you want, but not, overeat and all this and all that. I'm like, I just really don't understand why her and Carol are on Jules for her weight when both of them, clearly clearly are underweight as well. So I don't understand it. They were just being some bitches for real. I mean, there's nothing else to say. That's what they were being. And then Luann comes and Carol's like, this is time for me to go. Like, Carol, she doesn't even want to be in the same room with Luann. She is just ready to go. And I'm just like, why couldn't you just stay there? And then the way that they left, it was just so rude. They were Michael and Jules was gonna give a tour of the house, and Carol's just like, no, I want to go. And Bethany's like, are we going to do the tour or are we going to leave? And then they're huddling like some little teenage girls, like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And I was just like, ew, it just really, I'm just not feeling Carol. I don't know if I ever really was ever feeling Carol anyway. She just has her ways that annoy the hell out of me. But I'm not really feeling Bethany too much either this season so far up to episode 4. She's just really, I don't know. She's always been opinionated, but it's just a lot. It's a lot right now. It's really a lot. And I don't know why she's so on top of Jules. Like, what did Jules do to you? Does she remind you of your youth and how you're not that young anymore? Like, I don't understand what is going on with Bethany and Jules, but I guess she said that Jules reminded her of her mother, so maybe that's some misdirected anger that she has towards her mother, or whatever feeling she has towards her mother, she's projected onto Jules. I don't really know, but it's very, very, very annoying, okay? And they were being annoying. The way they left was they were just very rude. And then they went ahead and left, and then as they're leaving, they're like laughing, like it was some kind of big joke the way they were acting, and then they still talking shit in the car on the way out, like, oh my god, what's he building over here? What the hell is he building out here? Like, what, just leave. If you don't want to be there, just leave, but I don't really understand why Carol was in such a rush to leave. Luann didn't even have to talk. Luann spoke to her, and that was pretty much it. Like, she didn't have to talk to Luann. And you're on the show with her. You're going to have to be in social situations with her. So you might as well stop acting like a baby and deal with it. I mean, that's just put your big girl panties on, girl, and deal with it. You still got your man. You told her you have a great life. So why are you acting like, you got to stick up your ass? Just pull it out and calm down. You don't have to be friends with her. I wouldn't, if somebody says certain things about me, I wouldn't be friends with them anymore either. But at the same time, I'm not going to act like that. I'm not going to act like a little kid and run away every time they show up. That's stupid and childish to me, but whatever. That's the episode, you guys. I'm not going to drag this vlog out anymore. It really wasn't too much going on in this episode besides a bunch of silliness and people just not knowing how to be adults, I think. And I just really hope that this is not going to be Bethany and Carol's personalities throughout this whole season, because it's not cool at all. Like, Bethany needs to learn to keep her opinions to herself unless someone asks her. And Carol just needs to learn to get over this whole Luann thing, because they're going to have to be around each other. I mean, it's in the contracts. You got to be in social situations with these people at some point. Anyways, I'm really looking forward to next episode, because I saw in the preview that Ramona was telling Sonia that, she wasn't even invited to Bethany's party, because Sonia said she went to go visit her daughter or whatever in the preview, and Luann said something about, well, you weren't even invited. You know why you weren't invited. I want to know why Sonia wouldn't have been invited. I didn't know that her and Bethany had some issues. So I'm looking forward to next Wednesday, to see what that issue is, And that's really all I have. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Let me know if I'm a little crazy, or was Bethany and Carol just acting like two mean bitches in this episode, or maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Let me know what y'all thought, okay? And until next time, please stay real, stay safe, and stay tuned to me, because Chanel is just saying. Bye-bye.